You've already got the police investigation, which has been interviewing and arresting journalists. You've got the parliamentary inquiry, which has been publicly grilling James and Rupert Murdoch. Now this one, a judge-led inquiry that will also look at alleged wrongdoings at the News of the World, within News International, and potentially in other newspapers and news organisations as well. But as you've been saying, it has a broader purpose. It is set to examine the culture, practices and ethics of the British media, and in particular how they relate with the public, with politicians and with the police as well. It's going to be looking for problems, failings, shortcomings in the way that currently goes on, and its big task then really is to recommend solutions, how to fix it. And there the key issue, as you've mentioned, is self-regulation. In the words of Lord Justice Leveson, the inquiry chairman, how do you guard the guardians? How do you police journalists while also ensuring their fundamental freedoms? These are the issues that we'll be dealing with over the coming 12 months. So,
who's going to appear at the inquiry?
A broad range of the British society you can expect. Certainly, obviously, journalists, editors, proprietors, also politicians, as it examines that relationship between journalists and politicians and those who hold power in this country, and the possibility that those who hold power have been intimidated by the power of the media in turn. And it raises the interesting possibility of whether or not the British Prime Minister David Cameron could be called as a witness, particularly if this inquiry takes an interest in just how former News of the World editor Andy Coulson came to work for him on his staff. And then beyond that, you're going to be looking at and hearing from the victims, those who believe their lives were intruded upon, violated by unethical journalism. You're going to hear from people who were the victims or victims of terrible crimes or other tragedies, all the way through to celebrities, the likes of actor Hugh Grant or perhaps author J.K. Rowling. They're going to be hearing from these witnesses over the next 12 months. And the inquiry chairman said that he's going to do everything he possibly can to ensure that he comes back with his recommendations within that one-year period. Zach.
Phil, just remind people of the massive public outrage that occurred over this and how much pressure that put upon the system to have these kind of inquiries.
Well, obviously, the outrage here was significant. It's why we're at this point today. It's why those other inquiries and investigations have been going. It is why senior police officers have lost their careers in the process here. It is why the News of the World shut down. It no longer exists. In the words of the counsel assisting the inquiry today, he said that many of the revelations had sickened public opinion, and rightfully so. And it really gathered tremendous momentum from the revelation reported here in the press that News of the World journalists had hacked into the phones of a missing teenager, Millie Dowler, had listened to her voicemails, had in fact deleted some of the voicemails that were left in her phone, and in turn unknowingly given her family some hope that she may in fact still be safe and well. That was the incident that really triggered the sickening reaction or that feeling from the public here. That is why this investigation is taking place, why this inquiry is taking place, and why it in all likelihood could very well fundamentally change the very nature of British media and the institutions that have existed in this country for so long.